welcome back everybody. In this video I'm going to do like 3 repairs on this Carefree awning, and I actually like this awning a lot. Just to point out a couple things. A lot of awnings have a support that runs out here. This one just scissors out so it's all in the air so you can walk under it without hitting your head. It's pretty nice. And then also another thing with it, for some reason it doesn't mold. I wash it probably twice a year, and it just doesn't mold it. I had another trailer that had a black top on it and a white bottom, and I had to keep it clean. I have to clean it every maybe 3 months. So I'll show you what I do after I wash it. I seal it with this 303 UV protection, and then I shoot it all over it, and then I use this on a pole. It's just a paint mop on it, and I rub it in. And so I'm going to take you up here to the problem I'm having. So I have this spot. I'm not sure why it's wearing out here. I tried a turn-on tape, and then it came up, and then I tried this other tape. I think it's a Flex Seal tape, and it's not holding up. I thought that this thing here, so it protects the awning when this slides in and out, was hitting there when it's in the in position, but when it's in, it's all the way back here. So that's not the problem. So I'm not sure what's going on. I have a clear patch on top. I'm probably just going to leave it. It's holding up real well. And then I have a vinyl patch and a vinyl patch kit that I got to put here in its place. So it should hold, because this material, I've confirmed with Carefree that it's vinyl. So this here, I want to show you this here. I was on a trip and I put my awning out. I noticed this had come off and it slid down there to the end. Luckily, I saved it. And so I looked here, it's broken inside. So I contacted Carefree, and they were really helpful to me, and they shipped me the parts. They sent me 2 of these, and for $5.16, and shipping was like $32, and I thought, you kidding me. So I talked them down to $16 in shipping, and I had it within a week. So I'm going to go, I'll be replacing that, repairing this, and I have the same thing going on the other side that I want to fix too. So I might not be able to squeeze all these in one video, but I'm going to try. If not, I'll split it up and I'll probably do these repairs. And then also the stitching's coming loose here. So I bought a kit to sew this up. And I'll make sure I share all my links to the products I use in the description below, so you don't have to search around for it. Same with the 303 that I have. So over here, I got another one. This side's doing the same thing. There's a garbage truck. Anyway, hope you don't hear that. So I got to patch this side too. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the white tape on the other side, and then get started on that repair. Hey, I want to thank everybody before I move on. Thanks for watching my videos. I appreciate it. And if you like this video, I hope you give me a thumbs up, and also subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified of future videos. I appreciate it a lot, and feel free to comment. I like to receive comments and reply to everyone. If I don't reply to your comments because somehow YouTube messed up and didn't notify me that you made a comment. And also just share your stories of maybe how you fix things, and I appreciate it. And also other people read the comments, and so everybody's in this to learn together and save money doing it yourself. So that's why I make these videos, so that we can all save some money. So here's a Goo Gone, and I have denatured alcohol, and I might use this to remove the adhesive that's on there where the patch is. I bought these a while ago. I had another set. I used them all up. Comes with 4 scrapers and a bunch of blades that you can change them out when they wear out, and you can flip them around like a shaver. And they work real well for removing silicone and other things too. Here's the parts that I got there's 2 of them from Carefree. As you can see, here's a broken one. And you can see here what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to have in there these little cogs in there that catch it and hold it in place. So they're broken off. So I'm probably maybe going to replace the other side at the same time. I wasn't planning on it, but I think I'm just going to do it because I don't want them to come off on me. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the patch, and then I'll come back to you and show you what it looks like and how I removed it with what things I used to remove it, instead of boring you by showing you the whole process. So far this patch is coming off pretty good. The white part pulled right off, and then I soaked the area with Goo Gone, scraped it with that razor blade knife that I showed you, the plastic one, and then I scraped it again, and then I put some more Goo Gone on, and I'm letting it soak right now. So while I'm letting it soak in there to soften the glue, let's go over here and put this one on. So it goes on this way. It won't go on this way. As you can see, it's not supposed to go that way. I can feel already that it's wanting to grip in there, so I'm going to push it on, and hopefully it goes on easy. It should go all the way down on that. Oh, maybe it's locked on already. Yeah, so it's on already. So that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to have that gap there. So I think the other side, I'm going to go the other side. It looks like on the other side, it might be all the way down too. So let's go over there and take a look. So this one is on. So on this side, it's all the way down. Let's see if it comes off easy. Oh yeah, so I'm going to replace this one too. So here you could see this little groove here, and that's what those tabs lock into. And I could feel it lock into place. It won't come off. So it looks like these are, let's see, this awning is probably 5.5 years old. So if you have a Carefree awning, you're going to want to probably replace these. So I'll make sure I have a link to this product in the description below. Have the area all cleaned up with the Goo Gone, and I'm going to show you something. So what I used was a terry cloth towel, and I put some on the edge here, put the Goo Gone on here, let it soak, or put it up on the vinyl, on the glue area, a few times, maybe 3 or 4 times. Let it soak in. Then I scraped with this scraper, and I highly recommend this scraper. You don't want to use metal or anything, or you tear right through the vinyl. And I just kept scraping at it carefully, and each time I got layers of glue off, and then I did it until I didn't have any more, and then I put Goo Gone on here, and then rubbed the area to get any fine stuff off that this missed. And I did that a few times. Then I got a new rag with soapy water, cleaned the whole area up, and I didn't use any of the denatured alcohol on anything because I was worried it might damage the vinyl. So this worked real well. Got all cleaned up, the patch area, and then wiped it all down with soap and water and rinsed it real well and let it dry. And then I'm going to show you something here. I found out what's causing the problem, so I hope you stuck with me so I could show you this. So let's go around to the top of the awning. Before we go up, here's that piece I installed here that protects this as it slides. Let's go up. The bottom is also gray. The top is white. Here's a clear tape that was highly recommended on Facebook by a lot of people. It's garbage. It's really thin. It's yellowed. So now I can see this. It's actually worn here. I can see what's happening. I put a patch here because there was a hole here. Let me come in here close. You can see the area. So that protector, that black block, as the awning pulls in and this all rolls up, that piece, that black protector, pushes against this here. So this stuff is so cheap. It's so thin. It just tore through this. Yep, so I'm going to have to do some cleaning here with the Goo Gone, and I'm going to put a patch here and on the other side. It comes in, the patch I got is gray. I'm going to show you in a minute here. And it's really thick material. It's going to bond real well. It has adhesive. And I'm going to put, it comes in a 10 by 10 piece. So I'm going to cut it in 4 5 by 5 inch square. So I'm going to put a 5 by 5 square here and then one on the bottom side. And then I'm going to put over on the other end, I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to have to get this all cleaned up. But before I do that, I'm going to take you to my bench and show you the kit I got. I can't tell you how disappointed I am with that clear patch. I'm so angry about it. Anyway, here's a patch kit right here, and comes with glue. It's enough to cover this surface, and then you put it on the awning surface, the same dimensions as this. I'm going to cut this, like I said, into 5 by 5 inch pieces, but comes with the alcohol prep, so you wipe it all down. This is just isopropyl alcohol, so these pads, I don't know, it doesn't feel like there's much in there, so I might use some that I have here at home already to clean the areas. And so I'll, in the description below, make sure I put a link to this product, and it comes with all the brush and the glue and the pads and the patch. And then I have a roller that I'm going to roll it in place. It recommends rolling it in place. There's directions here, and also on this box, there's a QR code that you can go to, and you can look it up and see information on it. I'll make sure in the description below I share the site that this brings you to, so you'll be able to read about it. So on this, there's two surfaces. I don't know if you can see this one. Yeah, you can see it. Is rough here. The other side is smooth. So this side is going to go against the vinyl because it looks like it's more absorbent. This one is kind of coated and slick and glossy, if you see here. They say to on the vinyl where you're going to patch, to take sandpaper and roughen it up just a little bit to help everything adhere. So I'm going to get to work cleaning the rest of the clear patch off and clean that up, and then I'll come back to you. I have the 10 by 10 piece all cut out into 5 by 5 squares. There's 4 of them, and it's recommended that you round the edges like that. So what I did is I placed the socket on the corners, marked them out, and cut them. And so what this does is when you glue it all down, you don't have any corners that can catch. So it's a lot smoother on the edges. So if they catch on anything, there's less chance of it coming up. So I've done that. I've got the area all cleaned up on both the holes. I got one over there and one over there. And so I've cleaned it all up with the isopropyl alcohol wipes. Really good. I went bigger than the area that I'm going to be applying the patch. So let me come in close to show you what it looks like in here. Some of those threads, I'm going to cut them so that I can get a nice seal on this patch. Let's go to the bottom. So you see down here,
And I'm going to cut those threads off too. So I got the whole area cleaned up there and on the other end of the trailer also. You're probably wondering what I've done here. Well, I'll tell you. So the hole is right here. The patch is supposed to be at least 2 inches either direction here around the hole or what you're patching. So if you have a tear, you're going to want to go at least 2 inches past it. But I have a hole. What I did was I put my square on here from a straight line so I'd get this in place square so it's not all crooked. And then I held the patch down, and then I marked around with the pencil in a couple spots around here. I pulled the patch off, and then I applied this tape, all the tapes around it except for the corners. And then over here, I don't know if you can see, there's an X here, and then I put an X on the other piece right here so that they'll match up because the corners might be cut differently. And so the reason I'm putting the tape here is because this tape, they said, you want to clean up any edges with lacquer, or not lacquer thinner, but paint thinner. And I didn't want to do that. I want to avoid doing that. This patch works in sunlight. It'll hold up in sunlight, and with the heat and everything, it's a very good quality patch. I've been reading about it, and it's probably the best patch you can buy and the best adhesive too. So avoid buying those other brands out there. So anyway, what also happened is the glue, if you get it all around here, just put glue all over the place and stick it here, and you clean it up, there's a chance that the area might yellow, but that doesn't affect the adhering quality of the adhesive at all. So I didn't want to deal with that. You could probably clean it all up with the thinner, but I didn't want to. Plus, I was thinking if I cleaned up with thinner, the thinner might try and seep under here and loosen the glue under here. So I made sure that I taped this all up nice, and then I taped this in place here so I remember what goes what direction. And I left a little bit area around it so that if I don't get it exactly right, it should be okay. Okay, for the easy part, hopefully it's the easy part, I got everything ready, got it all taped off. I've sanded this with 150 grit sandpaper, like it says, scuff sand it all. And then I wiped it down with isopropyl alcohol. So you can see here, let's see, 150 grit. It didn't tell me what in the instructions what grit to use, so I probably 150 worked out real good. I wouldn't go any low, let's see, any higher on the grit than the 150. Got everything ready, so I'm going to go ahead and apply the glue on here and on the back of this. I also did the 150 grit on the back side of this, which is not the shiny side. I did that 150 grit, and then I cleaned it all with the isopropyl alcohol wipes. So I'm going to take you up on the top and show you what I've done, because when I do this, I'm going to want to roll it like this in place, and I don't have anything up there without what I've done to hold it tight and flat so I can roll this in place. So I'll go ahead and show you the roof, not the roof, but the top of the awning. Here we are at the top of the awning. I have my patch to the side because I didn't want to keep it in place there where it could maybe adhere to the roof where the hole is. So I got cardboard there taped in place, and then I got some weight on it, some 2x4s I had. I've taped this down so it doesn't slide down on this awning. So this should work. And then when I do the top, I'm going to go ahead and do something different to have a backing on it so I can roll this and get it nice and tight. But I'm not going to show you me doing the bottom part because it's too hard to video down there, but I will set up a tripod up here to show you how I do the patch in this area. And also one other thing, this can be done in, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 degree weather, 80 degree. It was 85 today, so I waited until I got shade over here so everything would be cooler, because I didn't want this stuff drying up real quick. They say apply it, and then within probably 3 minutes it becomes tacky, and then you want to apply the patch while it's still tacky, and don't let it dry completely or it won't work good. So I'm going to go ahead and get this done, and then I'll explain this all to you when I go up here to do the work. Well, this went pretty well. I got this one on the bottom, and I got that one over there on the bottom of the awning in place. So I have some tips for you, so stick around. So when I do the top, you can see what I did and how it is to work with the epoxy. I think it's like epoxy cement or something like that. Anyway, turned out really well. That was really good having weight up there so I could roll up against it. This patch, when it sticks on there, it's stuck. You can't move it. So just so you know that. Okay, I'm on the last one. I'm going to tell you a few things before I go ahead and put this vinyl cement on. So I wanted a backer behind this, so I have a piece of wood taped underneath here, and I'll show you that in a second. So it's nice and stable, so when I roll it, I can get a good clean roll on it without it moving around. The other area underneath, I had to let it dry for about an hour. It says it can dry in about an hour, fully cured in 24 hours. So a couple things I learned. So I got a little bit of cement left, so I should have enough for this. What I learned is when it's probably 70 degrees right now, 65 degrees right now, I coated this, and they were immediately tacky, and you want to put it on when it's tacky. So I immediately put it on. So you're gonna have to check if it's dry, then it won't be tacky and it won't adhere really good. I wish that I had bought some extra of this. So I'm going to put a link in the description below for this cement so you can get another tube just in case. But they say that it should cover everything, but I don't know. Then I found this brush between patches. I'm having to clean it in thinner, so paint thinner, or it'll dry on there. It already has a little bit, but it works. So, and another thing, I am so happy I put the tape on here because it keeps the glue here. I know exactly where to put the glue, and so that's, I think the trick is to do this if you want a nice clean job. And then after, I roll it really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some on here, then on here. And I found, don't just glob a blob here and smear it around because it starts clumping up if you do. So you want to just put it on as you go. Make sure see it's already setting up a little bit. And I found to do the patch first rather than the vinyl roof. It spreads easier on the vinyl roof, smoother because it's a lot smoother surface. And so I'm just doing this here. Got to go really fast. Make sure you get it all covered, and make sure you're covering the right side. You want the smoother side to be the bonding surface. So I can feel it right now on my finger. It's starting to get tacky already. I'm making sure I get the edges really good. So now I'm going to go ahead and get this area, and you can see it smears a lot easier. I want to get the edges real good. So it looks like I'm going to have enough of the cement. So I'm going to put a little bit more on here. It's amazing how quick this stuff sets. So I found on the other areas, I pretty much put this down, got tacky, and I put it down because it says it's usually tacky after about a minute or 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm just bonding this as quick as I can. I get a little more, and that's it. So there's a piece of the brush. I think it's gonna stay. I think I got it. Okay. There's tacky. I got to do it. You got one shot at this because it'll stick. So I got it down. Now you can see I'm going to roll it. I'm going to roll it for quite a bit here. I'm going to go both directions. There's no air bubbles under it. I want to make sure I get a good bond here. So what I'm going to do is after this, I'm going to pull the tape off. Then I'm just going to leave my awning out overnight. And then tomorrow afternoon, I'll come back to you and show you how everything's holding up. And then I hope you've watched the video this long, because I'm pretty sure I know what caused this now. And I'm going to make an adjustment on this Carefree awning. And I think you're going to want to see it, how I do it. There's not really any videos that I've seen on how to adjust it. There's stuff, Carefree has it on their site, how to do it. But nothing really, no videos. So you're going to get a bonus out of this one. So it's good that I have that piece of wood under there. And I'll show you what it's pushing against right now. If you don't have what I have under there, I recommend you tape a piece of wood under there and then have somebody hold it while you're rolling it. So there you go. Put this cap on here. So I'm going to pull the tape off, show you what it looks like. This is so much better with the tape, because then I don't have to guess where the glue is, and I got to make sure it's all covered, you know. It's funny how this painter's tape really sticks to this vinyl. So I'm kind of glad I'm taking it off now. And I'm glad I didn't do this in the heat of the day, because if I had, then it might not have been so good here. The glue would have, or the vinyl cement would have set up quickly. I think this patch is going to really stick, so I'm pretty happy with it so far. So let's go around the bottom and I'll show you what it looks like, what I did under there. Here's what I did under here. I just have a piece of 3/8 plywood. You could use 1/4 inch or anything else you want, and I just taped it under here, and it's pushing against this here. But if you didn't have this under here, you could have somebody just hold it tight get on the ladder and hold it up while you're rolling it and doing what you're doing up there. So I'm going to leave this on here overnight just so it makes sure it keeps holding the my patch nice and firm against the awning. So I'll be back to you tomorrow. Well, here we are back. It's close to 2 months later. I've been out camping a few times and with my awning out, and this is holding up great. So I decided to wait a couple months before I continue this video, so I make sure that this is still working. And I might do a follow-up video later if it starts failing, so I'll keep you posted. While I'm here, I mentioned earlier about this here and maybe sewing it back up. I'm going to use that vinyl cement up here in another video and adhere it up in place, because this vinyl goes around, it loops around a round piece of plastic, and it goes in a groove, and you push it in from that end if you're replacing your awning. So it's all pinched in tight. So I just want to get this up there stuck up tight so there's no gap like that, just in case it is holding it a little bit. Let's go up top and I'll show you what it looks like on the patch up top. Here we are up on top. The patch here is gray. I think they sell this in white also, and I could have gone with gray underneath and then above white probably, but at the time I could only find the gray. So I'll put a link to these products in the description below, and if I find the white patch, then I'll make sure I put that in the description below too, a link to that. So while we're up here, remember I was talking about this seeing the flap down there. You can kind of see how it's kind of rounded here, holding it, and the stitching is coming loose here. So I think the only way to do it the right way is to adhere the flap together with the awning here. I'll go to the end of this awning and I'm going to show you how the awning slides in place and what I'm talking about when it comes to the flap. So on the end of the awning here, I'm going to come in close so hopefully it'll focus in there where you can see it. See how it's kind of right here? It's got a little tube in here and it's inside there. And then this rail here, the awning slides in the end here as you're putting a new one on, or when it's manufactured. So it's pinched in there pretty tight. Let me go in closer. I hope I could, you can see that rubber there. It's a little round tube. So that's what's holding that in place, but I'm still going to go ahead and fix this up down here in another video, so watch for that. Now let's go over why this area was wearing out. After a lot of thought and checking how the rolls in, the awning rolls in and out, I figured out what was going on. Well, before I had it was a shade that went along here. It's like a sunshade, and it slipped down the groove here just like up above at the top of the awning, and it hung down here probably, I don't know, roughly 2 feet, almost a foot here, and then it had a zipper that goes across here. So when I put the sunshade on, when I got to a campground, what would happen is I would just I'd zip on the rest of it, the sunshade, to go all the way to the ground. And then when I leave the campsite, I would go ahead and unzip it here, and so there was a sunshade was hanging down here. So what was happening is when I would leave that on there and roll it up in the awning, because that's what I did on my other trailer and never had any problems. But I used that same one on this trailer, and I left it on, it roll up, and so what happens, it makes the roll of the vinyl, it makes it bigger, so it's a bigger diameter. So when it rolls in up here, which I'll show you in a minute exactly what I'm talking about, it would get real tight here, and it was pushing and wearing on that area. And same over on the other side. So now I've taken that sunshade off completely. I won't ever leave it on again, so I don't get a big old roll coming in. So I'll go here over to the other area. I'm going to roll it in and let you watch what happens when it rolls up. So right now I'm bringing the awning in. So you see the black block, it's kind of protecting the vinyl as it comes in so it doesn't scrape on anything and tear your awning up. It serves a few purposes. So as this gets closer, this roll is going to hit the black block there, as you'll see. And then you're going to see where it sits against that patch I got. So you can see right there, it's against the patch. So that's what was happening. That roll, the awning roll was a bigger diameter. So it was making it so tight there that that black block was wearing on the awning. So with my patch, it won't do that. And without that sunshade on there too. So when this comes in, this arm, it gets pushed in tight because the motor's pulling the awning cover in. So it's holding that in place so that it holds the arm in place. It locks everything nice and tight. So that's solved my problem there. So I know I mentioned that I was going to show how to adjust this awning, the arm, so the awning can be up or down, and that I thought it was causing this problem over here where the patch, I had to put the patch. I might show you in another video how that goes, but I'll give you a quick rundown of how I do it. So let's say I wanted the awning here to go higher. What I do is have somebody hold this up a little bit, and then there's an Allen screw right in here. I'd loosen that up a little bit, and then I would tighten this one up, and it'd push against there, and it'd cause this all to go this way, so that it would raise the awning tip right here. And for the same thing, if I wanted to go down with this arm, I would loosen that up and then tighten that one up there. So if you have problems with any rain running off the top there, and it's just pooling in the middle, what you could do is adjust it. So let's say I want the water to go that way on the awning. You raise this up, and then you, on that other end over there, there's an adjustment over there. You lower it down, so then there's a pitch, so the water will run off that way. I don't recommend having your awning out in heavy rain, but sometimes I've done it where I have a light rain and I want to do something under the awning here and be outside of the trailer while we're camping. Then what I do is I'm fine with that because I got a nice slope for the rain to go off the side. But in a heavy rain, no way. Pull your awning in, and whenever you leave your trailer and it's going to be windy, or if you don't know if it's going to be windy, most of the time those gusts come along when you don't expect it. Make sure you have your awning in or it's going to tear up. I actually was at a campground with a trailer with the same trailer RV park, and a storm came in, and a guy with the same setup had his awning out, and it just flipped up and just tore everything apart. So anyway, maybe sometime I'll make a video showing me how I adjust this up and down. But I don't want this video to be too long. It's already too long already. I hope you learned something, and hope you keep watching. And if you haven't done so already, I hope you subscribe and hit that bell icon to me so you'll be notified of future videos that come out when I come out with them. And then please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And feel free to leave me comments or questions. I do my best to answer everybody and get back to you as soon as possible. So we all learn from each other. And so if you have any tips or tricks to do on a trailer, how to work on these, then just leave them in the comments. Other people read the comments and they learn from you. So take care, everybody. Happy camping.